This video is going to be about element blocks. And when we define selection screens for our users, it's common practice to group certain fields together. And we can use these element blocks, which will draw frames around the groups of fields we choose. And we also have the option of adding frame labels. As we take a look at element blocks, bear in mind that you can nest element blocks within other blocks, allowing you to subdivide individual sections of your screen. Let's get straight onto the code and you can see how element blocks get defined. So this is the program we've been working on, and in the previous videos we had a look at the begin of line addition. Well, element blocks are very similar. So what we will do is key in selection screen, then instead of begin of line we just write begin of block. But what we do, we then add a name. So we give our block a name, and we'll call this my block 1. As you can see, the syntax is very basic and it looks very similar to the begin of line, with just that one addition of defining a block name. Now you have the option of choosing whether you want to apply a frame around a block of fields in your selection screen. And we do that by using the with frame addition. So let's add that in. So all we do is type with frame. Very simple. Let's pretty it up. And now another addition is we can add a frame label. And we call these labels titles. So we add a title to the frame. And as with comments, we can use text symbols or field names with a maximum length of 8 characters. Type in the addition title, and then we add the text elements. Now because we defined the start of a block with the begin of block addition, we also have to remember to include an end of block. So let's copy this line. And we'll go down and let's put the end of block here. So let's group these together and now we have a block. And instead of begin of block, all we do is type, you'll never guess, end of block. Again, keep the block name to define which block you're ending, and then a full stop. Let's check our code and just see what it looks like. And there you go. You can see we defined a frame, we gave it a title, and it's picking up the text element, which has the text surname, and now your screen starts to look, well, I won't say a whole lot better, but it starts to look a bit better. Element blocks help give your fields some context, and they help group your fields together. And you'll see them used all over the place in SAP. So when you're designing your screens, keep element blocks in mind. Make sure you make use of them, because it looks a lot better from the user's perspective. So we've looked at many different elements of designing screens for our programs. We've discussed events, parameters, select options, how we can use text elements, looked at saving variants and how the user can actually change the screen layout as well. And then finally, how we, let's say, pretty up our screens, group fields together, and make it look a lot more presentable to the user. And that covers our selection screen statement.